talk about? Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
I'm feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm Bobby Cloud 9, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo.
And welcome back to the Bookie and the Beard. My name's Dylan. I am the Bookie, and today Alex was unable to join us today due to a scheduling conflict, but he will be back next week. So today I'll just be doing this episode alone. It should be a nice, quick episode here. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So first thing I want to talk about, we got the college football playoffs coming up January 1st, New Year's Day. Alabama, Notre Dame, and Clemson and Ohio State battling it out in the Sugar and Rose Bowl, 4 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern, so look out for that. If I were to put my money on anyone, give me Alabama and Clemson in the championship, with Alabama taking it all. And today I do have some news to break. The Indianapolis Colts lost a good fan in me recently after their loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And being that I am a Pat McAfee Show supporter, Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, I've mentioned it here before, I've decided to transition my teams officially to the Green Bay Packers.
Stop the cap! Stop the cap right now! Stop the cap!
Yeah, so it's pretty much enough said on that. So let's go ahead and get into basically kind of what I want to talk about now. My top 10 and my bottom 5 teams in the league now, just based on favoritism. So just going off top 10 here, let's go ahead and just keep it going. Packers, still am minor Colts fan, but not really, kind of a Packers fan now. Now that we have the GOAT, and I've realized that. And Colts just don't understand how to coach, I guess, in the second half. So Packers number 1, Colts number 2, Dolphins number 3, Fitzmagic and Tua time. It's here. Tennessee Titans, I'm a big fan of them. Derrick Henry and Tannehill, like that duo they got going on out there in the Music City. And Seattle Seahawks, I've been riding with them ever since they went to the Super Bowl and played against the Patriots, and unfortunately lost to them. And then next team be the Washington football team. My co-host kind of brought me on to the team here a little bit. And if you guys know me, you know I'm a big fan of defense, and they do have a really good one out there. So I love to watch good defense, and that's why I got them in my top 10 here. I've mentioned it before. I love Josh Allen, love watching his games. That's why Buffalo Bills are up there with Stephon Diggs and the kind of little playful banter that he likes to have with his competitors when he's playing the games. Arizona Cardinals, I've mentioned it. Kyler Murray's the best quarterback in the league. I still stand by that. He is injured this week, though, so look for a Canadian football star to come in to the game here and win it for him, and potentially take him to an NFC championship title, considering that he has played in the snow, and that might be a little bit of an advantage if they can get into the playoffs and get into Lambeau. And then next one, I love Baker and his little chirpy attitude he's got going out there. So Cleveland Browns at number 9, and then Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs at number 10 to round it off. Now we're just kind of going to go through my least favorite teams here. Shouldn't be very hard to guess, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are my number 1 most hated team in the league, followed by Lamar and the Ravens, followed by Drew Brees and the Saints, followed by the Bears. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers rounding it off at the 5th least favorite team in the league for me. Just don't like these players in general. Don't like Big Ben. Don't like Mike Tomlin. That's enough on the Steelers. Hate Lamar. Hate Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara. And Bears. I think true Bears fans and people that know me know why I dislike the Bears. And just not a big fan of Gronk. I like Tom, just not a fan of Gronk. So Tampa Bay and Antonio Brown, too, not really making it a whole lot better there for me out in Tampa. So, yeah, that rounds off the worst 5 or the bottom 5, whatever you want to call it, for me. Yeah, so NFL playoffs are around the corner. We have Week 17 coming up here. Who's in and who's out right now? Kansas City right now is locked up the number 1. Bills have the 2. Steelers have the 3. Titans have the 4. Dolphins have the 5. Ravens have the 6. And Browns have the 7. Right now the Colts are out, but Titans, Dolphins, Ravens, or Browns, if they lose and the Colts win, Colts are in. But everyone controls their own destiny except for the Colts at this point in the AFC. So for me, being that I'm a former Colts fan, I'd like to see the city be a little bit happier and have the Colts make the playoffs, but just not sure that's going to be able to happen. But yeah, so look for my Bills to make some noise, and hopefully the Ravens can get a big loss here against the Bengals this week and screw themselves out of a chance. But people are saying Miami's the most likely contender to lose this week, but I don't think so. They got a good little QB2 situation going on out there with Fitzmagic and Tua. So, yeah, I look for them to get a big win here this week. Yeah, and Titans, honestly, playing the Texans, J.J. Watt fired up after his team not trying as much and not putting in the reps. I don't know if you guys saw that interview, but it was a pretty inspiring interview. Sent it to some of my buddies and didn't get the most positive response that I thought I would, but that's all right. Yeah, so my opinion, I don't think the Colts make the playoffs this year, but we will see. Should be an exciting week of football. We haven't had one of these in a while where everything is on the line for a playoff spot with this many teams, so it should be exciting. Another interesting one out there, Green Bay basically is locked up the number 1. All they got to do is beat the Bears this week. Shouldn't be hard. Yeah, followed by the Saints at 2, Seahawks at 3, football team at 4, Bucks at 5, Rams at 6, and the Bears at 7. We got an interesting one here, especially in the NFC East, in my opinion. Eagles don't have anything to play for. Look for Jalen Hurts to be slinging that ball out there. Bears hopefully missing the playoffs. Cardinals probably will get a big dub here with Canadian football phenom coming in. And Jared Goofball Goff out. But he will be back in time for the playoffs. He's got a couple screws in his thumb from the hit he had last week with his thumb and dislocated and fractured it. So don't ask me how he's going to be back. That's up to the doctors. I have no clue. But if they do make the playoffs, he should be back. Only thing they need is a Cardinals dub and a Bears loss to make a bookie very, very happy. Yeah, so right now Cardinals are out, Cowboys are out, Giants are out. Give me the Giants, though, to take the NFC East, getting a dub over the Cowboys this week, and Washington to take an L this week. The only thing that worries me is that they got Dewey Haskins, who is my personal bum of the week. Just gonna break that here a little bit earlier than the segment would allow for, but he is the bum of the week. Going to the strip club, playing bad, 2 interceptions, a lost fumble. You know it. You know his stats. He's not good. You had Heineke coming in slinging that rock. That's what worries me a little bit about them playing the Eagles. But personally, look for them to choke this week. But it will be a really, really fun, exciting game of football. Green Bay does still play for the number 1 seed technically, but we have basically I would say 4 or 5 teams that are locked for the most part in their roles on the playoffs, being the Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, and the Bucks, I guess you could say. So, yeah, everyone's playing for something, and it should be an exciting week of football. So, so next thing I kind of want to talk about would be the MVP. I know Pat Mahomes kind of played his way out of it here, and my boy Aaron Rodgers came in and took the crown. Pat McAfee show officially crowned him 2020 MVP. So if you want to go ahead and put your bets on that, let me look up what he's got here on the money here. Aaron Rodgers to win the MVP minus 350. I would hammer that. That's easy money. He's definitely going to get it. He's already been crowned 2020 MVP according to the Pat McAfee show. So I like that bet a lot. Shouldn't be too hard considering Pat Mahomes struggled against the bum Falcons this past week. But I like Aaron Rodgers a lot. I like that bet a lot. That bet is on FanDuel and Bovada if you want to go check that out. I know Ryan mentioned Bovada last week. So, let's just go ahead and get right into everybody's favorite segment, Bums of the Week. And I know Alex had Dewey Haskins, or Dwayne Haskins as most of the public referred to him as his number 1 Bum of the Week. And he is right up there for mine as well. Number 2, the Colts second half, Frank Reich and play calling. They refused to run the ball, it seemed like. So, that's why they're number 2. Jared Goofball Goff looked like he was scared against the Seattle Seahawks front and defense and in general through probably one of the worst picks of the year. And he got injured, but he wasn't doing anything before that anyway. Coming in at number 4, we have the Cleveland Browns losing to the Jets. I know they had 8 wide receivers and 3 linemen out for COVID, so kind of got to give them a little bit of a pass there. But at the end of the day, he lost to the Jets, so that makes you top 5 in Bums of the Week. And then number 5, Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs playing their way out of Pat Mahomes winning the MVP this week, or for the season, rather. And, you give Young Wei Koo a chance to tie it up and he misses it. I mean, that's not good, Chiefs. If you want to be considered MVP for Pat Mahomes and the best team in the league, I think Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers just showed who is king out there, which is why I like them to win the NFC Championship. And they are plus 190 for that, so I would go ahead and hammer that, considering Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT, is having one of the best seasons of his career. 44 tutties and 5 interceptions thrown. A little bit of a flex situation. Malcolm Butler, whenever he picked him off, does the little belt dance, and that kind of got Aaron a little fired up. Boom, 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 touchdown to Devontae. So, that's crazy situation out there. I do also like the Packers as Super Bowl winners, plus 500. I would hammer that as well. I don't think the Chiefs are going to have the firepower to contend with them this year, with Devontae and Aaron and the Smith brothers on D there. So, look for that. So I know we're talking a little bit more about bets this week. That's kind of what I wanted to do for this show from now on, is have these talks about betting a lot more often and looking at the lines and giving you my opinion on what to take. For example, I like hammering the Giants and the Cowboys as the NFC East champion. You can kind of play around with the money there so that you come out positive no matter what. But all you hope for is a Washington football team L against the Eagles in this case, and you're making money. So that's an easy one there. If you don't trust Heineke and the football team this week, another bet I like, plus 275 for the Colts winning the division. The Colts are playing the 1-14 Jags this week, while the Titans are playing the 4-11 Texans. So look for possibly an upset there and throw a couple bucks on the Colts this week if you like them. Another bet I like is the Bears to miss the playoffs. Jared Goofball Goff is out, so they have a backup quarterback in, and then you have Canadian football phenom coming in for the Cardinals with Kyler Murray most likely out due to a leg injury. Bears have to play my Packers this week. Aaron Rodgers still has that 1 seed to play for, so look for them to dominate the Bears this week. And that's a plus 180 bet for the Bears to miss the playoffs, so I like that one a lot. That's pretty much the main bets that I would be taking this week. Throw a couple bucks on that, see if you can make some money. So let's go ahead and get right into the NFL picks now this week. No Thursday night football, no Monday night football, just Sunday games. Starting it out, Minnesota at Detroit. Give me Minnesota and a good one, 27-13. I think that Zimmer is a bad coach, a bad defensive coach specifically, but we saw he came out and said he's got one of the worst defenses ever. But I think Detroit's got a worse defense. They don't even have a coach right now with Matty P gone, and they got an interim coach. So look for Cook and Cousins with probably offensive rookie of the year, in my opinion, Justin Jefferson to go crazy against the Detroit Lions this week on the road. Next game, we have the Atlanta Falcons going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Give me the Buccaneers this week, 34-17. Atlanta put up 14 last week. Could have put up 17. I'm going to go ahead and give them 17 this week. And Tom and that offense looks like they're clicking now with Mike Evans and Antonio Brown and Godwin out there catching the ball. Tom Brady throwing the deep ball efficiently now. Look for the Bucs to get a big dub here at home in the warm Florida atmosphere. Next game here. This is a bet that I forgot to mention earlier, but I do like the Jets this week against New England as an upset. I think it is somewhere around plus 185 on the money line, so I do like them for that this week. 24-13. I think they're going to start Jared Stidham this week just to kind of see what he can do, see if they can move on from Cam or if Jared Stidham's the next quarterback, or if they want to just go ahead and start him so that they can guarantee that they get a top 10 pick so that they can take a quarterback in this year's draft. But Jets are clicking now. They got a couple wins. Adam Gase might be the head coach next year. Probably not, though. Look for him to take a quarterback coach job under Bill Belichick and have Bill Belichick coach him up on how to be a good coach in the league again. So 24-13 Jets this week in a big upset. Next game we have, keeping it out in AFC East, Buffalo and Miami in Buffalo. Give me Miami in a good one, 28-27. They have playoffs to play for, while Buffalo could just rest their players and basically lock up a 2 seed, pending a Mason Rudolph revenge game against the Browns this week. Give me Tua and to start, Fitzmagic to end it. 28-27 in Buffalo against probably a Bills team that's going to be resting their players. Haven't looked at the money line, but I would assume that's what it would indicate. Next game, we have a good one. I mentioned it literally in the last one. Mason Rudolph revenge game, Pittsburgh at Cleveland. We all know the scene of what happened last time. We had a helmet going to the head. But with that said, give me Cleveland 24-13. I don't think Mason Rudolph's going to do anything, make any noise at all. Browns are getting some players back, but wouldn't that be something if the Browns miss the playoffs and lose this game? It'd be same old Brownies. Dog pound. They'd be very, very upset. It'd be funny one to watch, though, that's for sure. But yeah, we have plus 380 for Pittsburgh on the money line. I wouldn't see it as a bad thing to put some money on that, but I wouldn't go out of your way to do it unless you are a diehard Cleveland or Pittsburgh fan that just knows your team that well. But Pittsburgh has released a statement a couple days ago saying that they are resting quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, whether that be for the whole game or just part of the game. We will have to wait and see, but I would assume the whole game, which is why we've seen the money line go from 6.5 to plus 10 when I'm recording, and it's probably even more now. So, yeah, and minus 460 for Cleveland. I would stay away from that. If you wanted to try and make money, I would not try and go for this one this week. But yeah, I mentioned the spread at plus 10. I have no idea what it is now by the time you guys are listening, because I can't predict the future, but I would assume it would grow, if not stay the same. And I think Cleveland's going to cover that. And then with the over and under at 42, I'm going to go ahead and take the under this week. I just don't know how many players are getting back for Cleveland due to the 1-9, COVID 1-9. Yes, and I just don't think Mason Rudolph's going to have a very good return game necessarily on offense. Steelers have been struggling all year to put up points. Why would they change it now is what I'm saying. So anyway, next game here we have Dallas at the Giants. I mean, the Giants in a good one. They got a good defense out there. 24-23 this week. I would put money on both teams and hope that Washington misses the playoffs for you betting people out there. I know my co-host Alex would never do that, but I don't know the QB situation out there. If Heineke is just going to be a quarterback that came in for one game and showed promise, but then goes out and flops on the big stage against the Eagles, who have nothing to play for, which in the past has shown that the team that has nothing to play for is throwing bombs and says, screw it, let's just go ahead and blitz and throw bombs all game, and they do come out with the dub. So wouldn't be surprised to see that. Well, that's why I got the Giants this week to take the division. They do have the tiebreaker over Washington, so it should be a good one in the NFC going into the last week of football here. And another one with playoff implications, Baltimore at Cincinnati. Give me Baltimore 30-17, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals came out with a surprise upset, but I would not put any money on this one at all. I think it's like plus 455 and minus 700. I just don't understand how you can make money off of that. Yeah, anyway, I think Baltimore is going to get it done. They've been hot recently, but yeah. With that said, give me Baltimore 30-17 this week. Next game, another one with playoff implications. This team is out, though, hoping for a Baltimore loss. The Indianapolis Colts play at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars in a revenge game. Give me Indy 28-10. Make the city a little bit happier. Hopefully, Miami and Browns, Titans, or Baltimore is able to lose to make the city a little bit happier. Not really that big of a deal to me, considering I am a Packer fan now, but it would be good to see the city happy. So me Colts 28-10, with them missing the playoffs, unfortunately, due to all the other situations that I got going on here. But anyway, the team that lost to my Packers now, the Tennessee Titans, go to Houston to play. This could be a tough one for the Titans, but at the end of the day, give me Titans get the job done in the Dome 34-28 against 4-11 Texans. But I would possibly throw some money on the Texans and the Colts this week for possibly a little spark with J.J. Watt coming out with that interview. Like I said, I know one of my buddies said he makes $16 million a year, but I mean, at the end of the day, that fired me up to get motivated. So hopefully it could fire them up. I'm going to just kind of recap it for you in case you guys didn't hear what he said, but he was basically saying if you don't want to put the reps in, you don't deserve to be here. You shouldn't be here. So look for Houston Texans to come out firing. Deshaun Watson having a great year despite the record. He is having a good year personally, so look for potential upset here. Houston possibly beating the Titans, but I just have Derrick Henry and Tannehill running all over them, 34-28 this week. Anyway, on to the next game, another one with playoff implications. I know that's a repeated concept here this week, but it's a big week for with playoff implications for everyone. I know I mentioned the Canadian football star, I think Strevler is his name. Look him up. He won the Grey Cup out in Canada for, I believe, Winnipeg, and he came out with the cup shirtless, smoking a cigar. It was certainly a sight to see. Look for them to get the job done against backup quarterback for the Rams. Jared Goff, I mentioned, is out he did have surgery on his thumb, but look for Canadian football star, I think Strevler's his name, to come out and make some noise here. Give me Arizona 21-16 this week. Money line at -102 and -116 for Arizona and the Rams. And then with the spread at 1, I think Arizona will cover that this week. And then right now we don't have the over and under available, probably due to the quarterback situation because they don't know what's going on. But I would probably bet Arizona this week and the Bears to miss the playoffs. I know I mentioned that line earlier. Anyway, on to the next game with no playoff implications, basically. New Orleans and Carolina. Give me New Orleans 35-17. What's understood doesn't need to be said. Panthers will get dog walked by Alvin Kamara and the Saints this week. Anyway, on to my favorite team here now. Going on rivalry in the NFC North. Aaron Rodgers mentioned this. He loves to play in Soldier Field and Lambeau. Give me the Packers on the road, 45-23 in a big game for the GOAT and MVP to lock it up this week. Hammer that MVP line. I think it was -300 or something. I mentioned it earlier. You can go ahead and go bet on that because that's going to be a lock this week. I know Chicago has good defense with Chuck Pagano controlling them now, but I like Aaron Rodgers to show who's the man this year against the Bears in a big dub. -222 for Green Bay, +201 for Chicago. Look for Chicago to miss the playoffs this week after losing to my favorite team, the Packers. Spread at -5.5. Green Bay's going to definitely cover that. And with the over under 50.5, Green Bay might take the over just by themselves this week with that. Anyway, on to another game. Kind of like the New Orleans one, zero playoff implications for the most part. Kansas City at the Chargers. Give me Kansas City 24-20. They never cover. Why would they now? Pat Mahomes didn't look great this past week, but they got the job done just like they will this week, 24-20, with the Chiefs not covering at all. Anyway, next game, Seattle at the 49ers. Give me Seattle in a good one here, 30-27. Looked like they kind of figured out their QB situation a little bit there for the 49ers, going away from Nick Mullins, but look for Russell Wilson in that defense to kind of step up, make some big plays this game, and get the job done 30-27 on the road this week. On to another game with no playoff implications. This, I think, the third one we've had, but that's pretty good considering it's a packed slate for Sunday. I'll definitely have the sportshd.me up and going this week while I'm watching the games on national TV. So Las Vegas at Denver. Give me Las Vegas 27-20. Derek Carr coming out showing that he does deserve a job, and Drew Lock and Vic Fangio to not figure it out at home this week against the Raiders. I would assume if you're the Raiders, you're going out and hammering that NFC champion for the Green Bay Packers because we are going to get the job done. Aaron Rodgers is going to get the goat. I'm assuming all them Las Vegas Raiders are going out and hammering those bets this week, as everyone listening to this podcast should. And now to wrap it up, the big game for my co-host Alex, Sunday Night Football, Washington at Philly. Originally, I put Washington, but give me Philly this week. Philly's going to get the job done, get the upset here at home against the football team with their QB situation unknown right now. Minus 123 for Washington, plus 173 for Philly. Look for them to get the job done. Spread at 1.5. I think Philly's going to cover, honestly. And then the over and under at 43. Give me the under this week. I don't think it's going to be a high offensive game considering the Washington football team has a good defense and the Eagles have a lackluster offense for the most part, along with Washington having a very, very lackluster offense with Dewey Haskins as a quarterback. But with Taylor Heineke, you don't know what you're going to get. But I would try and stay away from betting on this game. Unless you're betting on the Eagles just to win in general. Wouldn't try and mess with the spread or the over and under considering we don't know the QB situation, so could be a little crazy out there, but I would, if I were to bet money, which I'd like to do, I would take Philly this week, guys, and I'd put money on the Giants in Dallas, so that pretty much wraps it up for this week. I know this was kind of just me talking a lot, but I just kind of wanted to at least get an episode out this week. I'm not trying to miss any episodes, but we do have. I'm hesitant to make this announcement, but we're working on getting a special guest in next week. He does have his own podcast, which if we get him on, he will mention and talk a little bit about. We'll ask him some questions about it. But hopefully his availability is open to be able to record a podcast. But I'd be grateful if he were able to make it. Let's be excited for a good week of football. And if you do want to go support us, go to our Instagram and go to our support page to donate either 99 cents, $4.99, or $9.99 per month at Anchor, ANCHOR the bookie and the beard. It's word for word. /support SUPPORT to go support us and donate. Like I mentioned, the 99 cents, $4.99, or $9.99 per month. It does help us to continue going and improve the audio and visual experience by getting microphones and green screen set up so that we can have backgrounds and different various things we can play around with, and our software that we can update so that we can have a clearer picture. And I'd really appreciate it if you go out. It's giving season. I know we had Christmas wrap up, and we have New Year's right around the corner. So if you would like to give, like I mentioned, the link just one more time, anchor.fm /the bookie and the beard /support. If you want to reach out to me or Alex individually, or to our Instagram in general, my Instagram is Dylan_Gabbert, DYLAN_GABBART, and my Snapchat is just all one word, no dots, no underscores at all. It's Dylan Gabbert, DYLANGABBART. And if you want to go show some love there, that'd be appreciated. Reach out to us if you want to have an interview and come on the podcast. We'd appreciate it. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us a snap. And then our Instagram for both of us, which is the best way to reach us, is the bookie and the beard, all one word, for our Instagram. And our support link is in there as well if you want to go support us. And we'll keep you up to date on everything we do out there. We'll put who our guests are as soon as we find out who they are, when episodes drop, when they're coming out. And that's basically the best way to stay informed and up to date on what we're doing. So, yeah, that pretty much wraps up for this episode. I wanted to thank you guys for taking the time to listen, and have a happy New Year's, guys.
I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride, I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo, I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, solo. I'm feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm loving cloud nine, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, solo. I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, solo. I'm riding solo, solo. I'm riding solo, solo.